Oh, we already got a bunch of people in the chat. Let's go.
That. You got the little crowns going too?
Dude, I still have no idea how they work.
Just XP. Watch, I'll get number 1 real quick. Give me a second.
Oh my gosh. Get number 1. Let's go.
There we go. Come on. Hey,
Oh my
yes,
gosh.
sir.
All
There we
right, somebody
go.
get rid of the spammer in the chat, guys.
All
We need
right.
to
Can we get
ban
mods in
him.
here? Mods. Mods. You ban this guy?
What's up, guys? Good to see everyone here. We got Michael, Eric. What's up, Logo? Oh, it's one of those days where what's up, Malik? It's one of those days where I have so much to do before tomorrow morning, and so it's gonna be a late night. Uh, Obviously, we have FD New Jersey, but that's just half of what I'm doing. I'm not really allowed to further go into exactly everything I'm doing after New Jersey, but I'm sure we'll say a couple things about it because I'm super excited and I can't wait for people to hear about it. But I have to wait one more day technically before I can announce what exactly I will be doing.
We'll run the stream to midnight. We'll run it 4 hours and
Dude, yeah. Yes, Brandon. Herbie did get fired. No, I'm just kidding. He is currently traveling, I believe, up to Jersey. I think he's driving, so he's kind of stuck doing his thing. Yeah, Mike in here. What's up? Do a skid? Well, we're gonna see a couple of those this weekend. Hopefully some good ones, but you never know. Could see some wall damage. Have some fun.
We'll get into that. We'll come across a driver here very shortly in the Prospec field who met a wall recently, so we'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yes, so today they didn't have the brackets out before last week's show, so we didn't get, because I like to at least give a show to Prospec and a show to Pro, but looks like we are jumbling them all together today as we go over the brackets and some news that's been kind of going around as well. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I think we got to get started with Prospec, and it's going to take a minute for us to get through all of this. So hopefully, chat, you guys are ready to start voting, because I had a lot of fun voting who's going to win last time we did it. So we're going to try and do that again. So but I'm going to keep it to like 5 minutes max, per battle, because like I said, we got a bunch of stuff to get through.
A lot to get through.
And hopefully 2 hours, but
rapid fire round.
The show goes every once in a while. We'll just maybe with 2.5, 3.
Keep it going.
It just happens. All right,
2.5.
Let's go ahead and switch this over, and then I gotta do one more thing so Brandon can see what I am actually looking at, because
it would be important.
It doesn't automatically do that.
Oh, look at that. It's only us two. I can see it. It's nice and big, too. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's what she said. All right. Back to the old bracket. So, Prospec, obviously, this is where you're definitely going to see probably the best battles of the year from Prospec.
Okay.
I mean,
I was wondering where that was going. It went the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, this 100%. Is where you're going to see the best battles in Prospec, just because it's the easiest track on the schedule for Prospec. Not to say that it's an easy track per se, but it's not a big track. There's not a lot of areas where, I mean, I feel like you can cut the line really easily here to catch back up if you need to. So it's definitely a fun chase track, I would say, when it comes to that kind of stuff. And I mean, you're not going that fast either. You entering at what, 50 maybe, 60?
I think it's a little fast. Yeah, 60, 70. I'd say.
60, 70. But then it's not like it's not Utah. Let's just say that, or it's St. Louis where you're going from a start or a stop, or you're going down the hill in Atlanta. So it's a lot more chill of a track. I mean, but the cool part, obviously, with New Jersey is you get the stadium atmosphere, you get the crowd involved.
Yeah.
And it looks like we'll be also melting into the asphalt this weekend as well. So
it's gonna be one of those again.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like 100. again.
That's what it actually said on the radar. I think was 100 plus. So we are gonna die. So I'm excited for that.
Going on, E-Town.
Yeah. I'm sure there will be plenty
Oh,
of paramedic situations this weekend.
ooh.
Michael.
Saturday's 90, not terrible.
No.
Sunday for Pro Bro Down though is a crisp 96. So
Ooh.
that's
There
fun.
you go.
Yeah, there you
Well,
go.
we'll see. We'll see how the cars, deal with the heat and stuff. But first up, why don't we get to some of these battles? And I got a little set up uh, my station to do polls and everything. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get the started off with these first two battles. You got
Gotta get the
Jace.
Dominion out.
Yeah, you got Jace versus Casey. So you
Aren't
got
how
it's
strong?
yeah, that's actually a pretty solid battle. I mean, Jace is obviously in that Black S13. And Casey's in his S14.9, I think is the correct term.
Yes, indeed.
Both solid drivers, and I honestly I expect them. I expect this battle actually to be probably one of the better ones.
Yeah. I was gonna say for Hobbit, it's like his car went pretty hard in Atlanta. Seems to have gotten it fixed. And then now that I think about it, Casey also had a pretty big crash too.
Yes.
So two hurt cars. Hopefully both are straight and good. But I think that'd be good.
Yeah, but I don't actually know who would win this. I think it'd actually be a pretty good battle. But you're right. Like they both had nasty crashes, and I know talking to Casey that he's the one fixing all that, since he's the one that fixes Stukey's car. But I think I did catch him in what was it, Orlando, and he seemed to be doing all right. He definitely had a sore back after that, though, is what he was telling me.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, pretty hard hit.
hmm But yeah, with Casey, he's obviously been doing this a little bit longer than Jace, at least in the Prospec side. So he's probably a guy that probably needs the win. I would
Yeah.
think. You know, he's one of those guys that's like always on that fringe of like will pull out a really good battle, and then something silly will knock him out the next battle. You know, so it's
Yeah.
like for him, it's the consistency side of it.
I
And
agree. Yeah.
yeah, it
It's just
looks
been an issue of consistency for him for sure.
right. Yeah, we got Cody in the chat. What's up, Cody? Delvey, where's the Herb? Herb is currently driving up to New Jersey at the moment, so he is busy.
Yes. I think Cole wins that. Casey Cole wins that pretty unanimously in chat. I'm the only one who voted Hobbit. It was me who voted that, by the way.
Okay, all
So,
right. Dang, it's pretty
and I think
decisive.
Hobbit is good in practice. He always lays it down, and sometimes during comp, he bites off more than he could chew.
Yeah. All right.
But it is.
So we have Casey Cole winning that one. All right, let's go ahead and do the next one.
Ugh.
This will be interesting. We got Boss versus Ferris. I don't actually know how to say Ferris's last name.
Or Tommy.
Cartonomy.
Or Toomey. Or Tommy.
Don't know, man.
Anyway, I think this is Ferris all day. Car looks better after that gnarly wreck. It's fixed.
I hope he's getting some
Good
practice
driver.
time. I haven't been able to see if he.
He's on the sim a lot. I know that. Does a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously Boss is a guy that I think he just won a pro am. I think the Lake Erie one. I
Okay.
think.
My argument is FD Atlanta 2025. That's all I gotta say. I was up in the tower for Prospec. Saw it all. All I gotta say, Ferris.
All right. I mean, you did see Ferris hit the wall, didn't you?
I sure did. I sure did. Honest mistake. You know,
Yeah.
oopsie, freak accident at that.
Well, I think that was just an experience thing, like if
Yeah,
he had some more runs down and up that hill, he would have known because when you're in your chase at Atlanta, you almost have to be on muscle memory mode when you come back down in the chase, knowing when to transition. Because if you transition too late, that's what happens. You
yeah,
end
you
up
gotta be
seeing
proactive rather than reactive,
reactive. Yep,
as they say.
exactly. Alrighty, guys. Let's see. We got Ferris with the slight lead right now over Boss at 56% over 44%. Um, so I'm curious to see how that goes. I like this is obviously a much easier track, so I hope Ferris would do a little bit better at this track than he did at Atlanta. So that there's also that going for him too. Um, but yeah, I do know Boss just I believe won a pro am. I just don't remember which one it was. I want to say it was the Lake Erie one. A couple weeks ago. Beat like Dirk Stratton and a couple other guys. So he is
Okay.
he is ripping. I guess it just depends on the course though.
Yeah,
All right, we're gonna go.
probably.
We're gonna go ahead and end the pull off there. Ferris wins on a narrow margin of 55% to 44%. Next up we got Shelly and Carson. Now I don't
Carson.
really.
I just said Shelly and Carson. I just repeated what you said.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
gonna say I don't have a good way to judge Carson because I personally haven't seen him drive.
I watched Drift League. He's a California guy. He
Right.
won his license through Drift League. He's a good driver, and I saw him testing. He's a homie. I know him, so
Nice.
kind of biased. But he when he lays it down, he lays it down. He had car problems in Atlanta,
Right.
and you can't really tell. But he's a ripper. I don't think he's terrible.
Yeah.
Obviously, Prospec, he got things to work on. He's got a unique chassis, that being an E92. The dude's
Right.
like 7 foot, so he's fucking massive. I don't know though. Shelly's been not terrible. Atlanta was like she's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So I
And
think
she's
it'll be a
been
good battle.
practicing. I think she was practicing in New Jersey as well.
Yeah, I know Carson's a big sim guy too, so there's that. I think it'll be a very close battle if all cars are working. Then I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
Will be a good one
I'm
for
just trying
sure.
to read some of the chat. I want Shelly to. Cody said I want Shelly to win, but I have to go Carson on this one. Yeah. There's a bunch of those where you're like, yeah, we'll see. Let's see. Cody also said, "Can I be the first to say that Boss is going to crash?" Well, can't say you were proven wrong in Atlanta, so we'll see. We'll see what he does in Jersey. That's for sure. I'm trying to remember. I
Yep.
feel like he also crashed in New Jersey last year, if I'm
He
not
likes to
mistaken.
crash. To
Yeah,
be
he.
as That was kind of rude. Sorry, Alan Boss, if you're watching. But
He sends it.
sorry.
He's not
A
afraid to
little too
crash.
hard.
That's for sure.
Yeah, he did a little oopsie in St. Louis, I think, last year. Right?
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know.
Mike says he says as long as it's dry, I'll be happy.
True.
The reality
Right.
is, Mike, you're gonna be like in a shower of sweat though. So it's like
Yeah. I don't know what's worse, that or shower of sweat or shower of
rain.
just rain. Yeah.
I mean, if I'm watching a drifting event, I'd rather be sweaty and dry drifting. But
True.
yeah. So it looks like Shelly gets the win on this one. That's pretty cool. Shelly at
I've been in
63% over
motorsports, as they
Carson.
say. Yeah.
So a lot of quite a few people had some faith in Shelly there. So that's cool to see.
Guess
All
so.
right. Next up, we got Adam Heichman and Brian Hop. I'm not gonna try and pronounce
Ooh.
that.
Right, B Hop and Heishman, that'll be good. Heishman seems to get that Mustang a little more dialed in this year. So
Honestly, it looks night and day better.
looks way better to drive for sure. He looks like he's back in his pro-am days with how he's driving it. So that's cool to see. Brian Hopp has too much forward drive in his car, and he needs to take some out. That's all I gotta say. So if he does that and makes his car a little more drivable, I think he'll win this. But also cheering on Adam because he's a cool guy. I like his car.
Well, and this is where I bring up the local curse or the local driver curse.
True, and it's like just New Jersey where there seems to be a fat local driver curse, and it's crazy.
Yeah, like every time we come here, you got a bunch of local drivers that are in Prospec, and something usually happens, and they get knocked out early every time. Whether it's Jaeger, Bystrack,
There's like 6 Jersey guys
Root.
in Prospec every
Yeah,
given year, and none
yeah.
of them have ever.
I don't think any of them have ever podiumed.
I don't think any of them have podium. I was gonna say don't quote me on that, but I don't think any of them have podium. Hopefully this year they change it, but we'll see.
Yeah,
No.
I mean that is the thing is it's like they drive these events, apart from Dimitri. Dimitri, I'm pretty sure is one here, um, but he's
Yes.
obviously a pro driver now and whatnot. But like, I think who won? Was it Trevor Root that won the last Gambler? I think it might have been Root
Yes.
that won the last Gambler.
Either
Um,
Chen or Root.
so it's like
Always is.
another guy. So I'm curious to see if it's another year of the local driver curse that always seems to happen here. But like you said, Hop's got to make his car drivable. Not just fast, but also drivable for him. And like we said, Adam was driving great in Atlanta, so it's gonna be a tough
Yeah.
one. But
See.
honestly, it looks like the chat's gonna base off what we saw in Atlanta. Just of how Adam was driving, because Adam is way ahead of Hop at 82%.
Also, Phil Silva, great point. Heishman did really well last weekend at the Gambler. Hop did not. And Hop was also in his Prospect car. So you are correct.
Okay.
Going Heishman. Heishman on this one. Very good point. Phil, you've convinced me. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, and obviously Dimitri got second, as Phil brought up. Dimitri got second in like an LS, like a stock LS swapped.
E46 or 36.
No, it was an S chassis, wasn't it?
Oh, was it? I don't.
Yeah, it's an S. I thought
I like
it was
tuned in every 5
S14,
seconds. I don't know.
and I think his kid was driving the Prospect car.
That's that's the dream right there.
Right. So, but that's interesting that Phil brings up Adam did really good at the Gambler. So, I mean, that sounds like he's like actually becoming like he might actually be a guy that is going to be fighting for your top eights and your top fours, here soon.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
in Pro-Am in like East 10 2 years ago, he like won every event or like podiumed every event or something along those lines. He did good, and he won the
yeah,
championship.
well,
So
and that's the thing is a lot of these guys will come in and they have a bunch of accolades or they do really good in a couple pro am series, but then like they make the jump, they do a ton of stuff to their car like Adam did, and it just doesn't work out, or they have
yeah,
issues, or they got to change things, and it takes them a season just to figure out the new car, and that's what happened with him.
yeah,
And
it's like that one meme of the Wolf of Wall Street where they're on the boat and they're like, "Let's go to Monaco," and then it's like it's the chop, and then it's like the chop part. And it's like, "What the fuck is this?" And that's them going to Prospect.
yeah,
Yeah.
that is how it goes. All right, let's go Cody Dempster and Brian Wills. I called him Willie.
Going
I almost
Wills.
called him Willie.
Mr. Willie. I'll go Willie's. I think it's not Cody. I think it's Cotty or something.
That's right.
I
He
feel
he
like,
corrects me every time, but I still call him Cody.
come on, what an asshole.
I am.
He's an
I
asshole.
am grade A jerk,
Wow.
actually.
I'm going Wills.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I'm going Wills.
Cody's still going through car issues.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I know he was having problems. I think he got like two or three runs actually in Atlanta. So he needs to get his car like dialed. Yeah, I know he struggled last year with the car too. So, and then he
Yeah.
had the fun fire this winter. So he's 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 just trying to stay afloat. It seems like at some point, but hopefully he gets
Yeah.
that car figured out. Because I have seen him when the car works. He's a good driver, but
He rips. He's a
yeah.
ripper.
But Wills is definitely a ripper when the car works as well. I think he was a guy that I was really intrigued with last year as a rookie, and so I'm hoping to see some even more improvement out of him this year. Maybe see him in a couple top 16s and top 8s as well.
Yeah.
Plus, his
Yeah.
car is fun.
Yeah, it is very
It,
loud.
it's
Loves to
very
hit the revs.
yeah.
Very good.
The way that he has the car set up is very fun.
Yeah.
Looks like we got possibly could be here our first 100%er on wins so far. So we'll
Wow.
see. Yeah, votes are definitely going towards Wills right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the also the next. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3 more of these to go, and then I just want a quick check, and then we do have a couple of these battles as well to check out here for top. It would be top 32, but speaking of seating bracket though, it do you like how they did it last year? It was one battle and then you just move on kind of thing, or do you like them adding in the extra battles now
I like the
for
extra
Prospec?
battles. It's more
Yeah,
fun. I think it was lame doing one and done. There was also a few more. There was a lot of drivers last year for Prospec, right?
yeah, yeah.
It was
So
like a full top 32 for seating.
pretty much, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, now there's less drivers, and I feel like it's a little more refined this year. I feel like last year it was cool because everyone got to battle, but I do feel like some of those drivers would make mistakes and the judges wouldn't notice, and then it would cost a battle, and it's like the one and done sort of thing. I feel like
yeah,
in Prospect this year's definitely the best. To put it bluntly, I feel like some of the Prospect drivers last year weren't all that great, and
yeah.
it was just like it was yeah, it was just some of it was just not great
Basically,
driving.
you're
And
just
this
kind
year
of
it's
trimming some fat for this year.
yeah, this year the fat's trimmed. It's like a nice strip, you know, trim the fat a little bit. Still got a little bit on there for like the marbleization because it's fun, it tastes good. And it's not a fillet,
Yeah,
okay? It's just
you got to
like
have the wild cards in there a little bit
you
too.
got to, yeah, you got to. Like the wild card last round, Corey Talaska win it,
Mm-hmm.
so a homie,
Yeah,
but good for
one of
him.
those guys that would show flashes,
Yeah,
but it's like when are you gonna put it all together kind of question. And so a
exactly. And
lot
he
of
did it.
there's quite a few of the drivers that are in this like seating bracket right now that you'll see flashes of, and it's like, okay, so when do we start seeing that every run? And that is
Yeah,
the big challenge for a lot of these newer drivers in Pro Spec is not only doing a good run but doing a good run every time.
consistently. Yep.
Because when you watch, so like one of the biggest contrasts is like you watch a Prospec practice and then it switches to pro practice and it is a
Oh yeah.
total shift
Oh
because
yeah. Especially
everyone in
especially in
pro,
Atlanta.
yeah, everyone on pro is hitting their marks where they need to be, and then the chase car is right there, and there's
Yep.
no warm up. It's first run out, you hit your marks and you're good.
Yep.
Like with Prospect, there's a lot of still feeling out and like, okay, well, this guy messed up this corner pretty badly, which caused the chase car not to be able to chase, kind of thing. And you'll see that every once in a while in Prospect still. So that is just the learning process of being in that series and being consistent.
Yeah.
Um,
And I feel like I would say like the top 16 drivers in Prospect right now. Like a lot of these guys are good and like they could go out and rip the first lap. Not to like to my, whatever, like my opinion, but because they sim a lot, like they're on 2, 3 hours a night, and they're like just getting the reps in, getting that muscle memory in. That's so necessary, and I think we're seeing it in especially in pro spec. The people without simulators are kind of just trickling back a little bit, and you can tell who either drives a lot, like going to the track and track days, or the people who have sims a lot. Whoever gets the most seat time, either virtually or in person.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Alrighty. So it looks like we did. There were a couple votes that came in for Cody there at the end.
yeah,
Willis won at 75% over 25% for Cody. And looking at the next battle here, we got DJ and Ruth.
Hmm.
Now, I believe Ruth's car was broken most of
I want to say
Atlanta.
yes. It was the yellow 350Z.
Yep, yellow 350Z. But I've seen this guy drive before in previous round or previous events, and I know he can drive. So
Yeah.
driving from his end, I don't think is going to be an issue. DJ, night and day difference from his first Atlanta.
Oh,
Uh,
100%.
Dude was actually kind of ripping,
He
which
was
was
ripping
the exact opposite of how he introduced himself in Atlanta.
last year.
I think
Yeah.
he had one run and then the car sounded like a tractor. So,
Yes. This year still kind of sounds like a
yeah.
tractor, but a bit less, and he's doing the thing correctly, so that's
Mm-hmm.
good.
Yeah. So, if you guys haven't seen Ruth, obviously you're going to be picking DJ here because DJ has proven that he can drive indecently well. But I will put my 2 cents out there that I have seen Ruth compete in like I think it might have been 2 years ago. I saw him at the 50K and he made like the top 8 with a bunch of pro guys driving that. And I've seen him in a couple other just events driving and super solid. So I'm hoping the car works up to par, where we actually get to see his driving and whatnot. Uh, but yeah, honestly, two LS Swap 350Zs, I think it's going to be actually a pretty good battle.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be terrible at
Pretty
all.
solid indeed. But
It's
yeah, so we'll
not
see.
a lot of places to debeat here, so it should
Right,
be
exactly.
rocking and rolling.
Although,
There's actually quite a few places. Never mind. I take my last out. He'll be rocking and rolling. Let's hope he's rocking and rolling. Yeah,
yeah,
rock with that.
um, yeah. So we'll let people get some more votes in, just so we can finalize this. Also, uh, in New Jersey, like obviously the weather is going to be playing a big issue here. When it does rain, because I did see a comment in the chat that there possibly is going to be rain Thursday, which is when this would be. Um, the tricky part about New Jersey is the track surfaces. So, for those that don't know, New Jersey track used to be a drag strip. They added basically the 2 circles around the drag strip. But the thing is those have different track surfaces than the actual drag strip itself. So when the drivers are drifting over these wet surfaces, there's drastic differences in grip when they go across the middle over the drag strip versus when they are going around on the actual corners. So you'll see a lot of that catching drivers out in the rain. Uh, and in that case, I think a lot of experience is going to help the drivers that if it is raining on a Thursday, I definitely think the experience of driving this track before is going to help a lot.
Yeah. Right.
But
All right, where's this poll at? Let's see.
yeah, we got a
Uh,
couple. It looks like DJ's definitely pulling
like
pulling the
it.
win out on this one. Alrighty, so looks like 75% to 25%. DJ gets the win on that one. All right, next one is Colette versus Sam. Which I know Colette has very well acquainted with the walls here. Let's see.
Yes, she sorry.
You're good, boss. I'm just trying to type Get the old polls going.
Um, yeah, I mean, Colette had a meeting with the wall, and the wall won. Um,
It does that.
Sam seems to be looking better too. Not gonna lie. He
Yeah,
was
I do know
ripping.
they
He had
figured
he had a
out.
couple very shining moments in Atlanta for sure. I don't think
Well, the
in
thing is
Atlanta.
I know last year was a lot of a learning curve for him on the car. I know they were dealing with all kinds because that engine platform wasn't in a bunch of cars. I think last year. I think his car had that, and then last year Rome had that engine platform or a version of it.
No, Rome had a M50 last year. He was the only one running the Earned S54.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
So I
And
do.
now he has 3 of those. So
Yeah.
very cool.
So I think they were like learning a lot on that engine platform and stuff and getting used to it. So
Yeah.
I would expect Sam to be pretty good, like a lot better this year as a showing
Yeah.
in
Yeah. Yeah.
general.
Yeah.
So
I think. Yeah. I mean, we'll see if Colette's car is cooked. I don't know if it's crooked or not.
I was told it was fixed. So
Oh, well, there we go.
whatever
There we go.
whatever extent that is, um, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got Squibby with I don't even know how you say that with rumors in the chat. I don't know how true that is. I haven't heard that.
What did he
um,
say? Let's see. Oops,
so
I
Phil
put it in
did
the wrong
say I
order.
drove the Gambler in the wet, and it was incredibly slippery. You might be doing 20 miles an hour on the track, and I have seen Pro in the wet before, and it's incredibly slow, and you can tell the drivers are struggling to like compensate for the different types of grip, especially in the different areas. Um, but yeah, so let's see. Colette's actually winning this battle, according to the chat. Colette's winning it over Sam at 56 over 44% for Sam. So that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah,
We
that
got
is a very crazy rumor. Squindy, whatever, however you pronounce her name.
yeah. All
That
right.
would be kind of crazy. All right, let's see here.
I'm trying to end. Oh boy.
Go.
Oh yeah. So
Colette
now,
Colette by 1.
yeah.
One more for
Well,
Sam. Come on, guys. No,
the
I
the
voted for Colette.
stupid where I was doing the live show stuff just quit out on me. So I'm trying to. There we go. Now we ended the poll. There we go. Now we can move on to the next battle, which is we got Johnson versus Kaufman. So Jerry, that's right. I want to call him,
Jerry.
yeah,
Jerry Johnson.
Jerry Johnson. That is
Yes.
a NASCAR driver. Um, that's just NASCAR driver
That's
name.
Jimmy
It's
Johnson.
I know, but it's a
Yeah.
Jerry Johnson's basically a NASCAR
Jimmy
driver name.
Johns. Jimmy Johns.
I know, dude.
Yeah.
He's bringing the NASCAR engine out. Like he's just he looks like a NASCAR driver. He has the vibes of a
Yeah.
NASCAR driver. I just feel like he's a
True. He's got the hauler of a NASCAR driver.
yeah.
So yeah.
That's funny. Well,
I'm bullish on Jerry here.
bullish on
No, no
Jerry.
offense, no offense to Kaufman, but seeing videos of him and like walking around the pits and seeing him at Atlanta, he looked very stressed.
Oh,
And
really?
new guy.
He's
Yeah,
also got that.
just
He also has that tricky chassis of the SC.
true. The FC, very unusual but cool. No hate on them.
No, I appreciate.
Very
I
cool.
actually got a chance to like look around at the car and talk to him about it. It's a very cool car, but there's
Yeah, I
also a
mean,
reason you don't see it. So
yeah. The taxi garage guys rip, so
they
you
do.
know, I think it could be something good. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I'm going Jerry with this one for sure.
Yo, the chat has got some wild,
Yeah,
wild
we got
accusations going
some
on.
gossip in here. It's the Real Housewives of FD right now in the chat. It's kind of crazy. Tell my mom to tune in. She'd be so entertained.
I know.
Crazy. You should turn this into a drama channel, Nate. That would be good.
Yeah, yeah. And then
Yeah.
everyone would hate me. It'd be great.
Great. Just cause problems all the time.
Yeah. Did you hear the latest news about Brandon? Yeah,
Huh?
dude's getting out of sim racing. I heard he retired. I heard he's washed up, and
Ernie's washed. Yeah, whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Not gossip if it's real. It's true, Connor. It's true.
This is
I don't
true.
know. I'll text my sources. Just kidding. I have no sources, so get fucked. Anyway, so Jerry and Hoffman, I would go Jerry.
That requires friends, bud.
All right. Anyway.
Okay. All right. Looks like Jerry's getting the win on that one, but pretty close actually. Ryan at 40% and Jerry at 60. Honestly, really curious on that one. I want to see some more events from Ryan in the FC, because I low key am kind of rooting for an FC to be relevant again. That would be cool. Alrighty,
Yeah.
so instead of just going through each battle and seeing who wins, like going to the finals, we just don't have time.
Let's do a winner. Let's just do a winner. Who's winning Prospec?
So who's winning? Let's do a finals. We'll do a finals, and I want to see your guys' finals in the chat as well. For the old seeding bracket, for the old 12 points, eh? Which, by the way,
the big
winning 12 points is a lot,
especially
for 4 rounds in Prospec. This actually is a big deal.
Is a huge deal. Who won it last time? Cameron Sorensen?
Yep.
He got out in the 16 and he's sitting 6th.
Yep.
I love math. That makes so much sense, FD. Anyway, we're not getting into that right now. Yeah. Sitting 6th.
Yeah, who you got going into this?
Okay, let's see. Left side. God, this is tricky. I don't know. Any of them could win. It's Jersey.
Right.
Left side, I'll go.
Who does not care about
Heisman.
hitting? I was gonna say, who do you feel like is most likely to be hitting some people? I was actually gonna say Adam too, just based off of what I saw over in Atlanta. I was really impressed.
Yeah, I'll go Heisman on the left. The right side, I'm gonna go with the All-American, the Bald Eagle Machine, Mr. Jerry Johnson.
All right, I like it. All right, so I'm gonna be a little different, because I kind of have to be,
Okay.
I think Brian Hop's gonna put it together. And then
completely against me on the left side. It's cool.
I think Brian Hop's gonna put it together, and I think we're gonna go Wills on the other side.
That'd be a cool final.
Yeah, a couple S chassis going at it, and I got Wills winning.
Yeah.
So
Wills winning, huh?
Interesting. Yeah. Little change up for you.
Just a big change up.
Yeah.
For sure.
But honestly, like I said, like this is New Jersey, and anybody can win this. As we've seen in pro, it's like this is where Adam got his first win, and whatnot. And we've seen a bunch of like different podiums. I think didn't Zhao nearly podium? He got like 4th.
Got a grade 8 one year.
Yeah.
2-3 years ago. Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
Yeah, so like anything can happen in Jersey, man.
Yeah.
Your tires don't really matter. Everyone's pretty much on the same playing field here.
True.
So, all right, let's see. All right. So that is kind of what I was looking at for, what was it, seeding 16. Let's move over to the old 32.
I guess there's 4 battles we could go over.
Correct.
A whopping 4.
We can check out.
Lovely.
I do want to kind of hit up, since we haven't talked about the championship as well in Prospec. Just a quick
Yeah.
mention. Obviously, you got Corey in the lead. You got Dimitri right there. It'll be. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's gonna be tough to beat Dimitri here. Um,
Yeah.
he's
Seems like
kind of.
that Prospect car is working now.
Mm-hmm. So,
Trying to go for, according to his son, he's trying to go for a third.
all right, we'll see. But yes, I wish I knew how to pronounce the guy's name. Sqmby. How do you even say that?
Squimby.
Squimby?
That's
Squimby.
what I'm going with. Squimby.
Squimby. I like it. All right, Squimby has already brought it up. You got Cameron versus Amanda, which you couldn't have scripted that any
Man.
better.
No, you really couldn't have. The two Sorensen.
I mean, talk
Two
about,
of the three Sorensen.
yeah, you get a little sibling battle here, and
Rivalry.
I
Yeah.
know Cameron wants to win this bad.
I want to say they've already battled each other this year at like LS Fest or something.
Oh, really?
And
I believe they did. Yeah,
Cameron won.
yeah.
But Amanda got second last year. So,
I guess we'll find out, eh?
you know, I don't know. She's not bad at this track for sure.
No, you are correct.
And Cameron is on the sim like all the time because, he's like, how old is he? Like 14? What else is he going to do? Work? You
Right?
can't work a job when you're 14. Just hop on the sim.
Exactly.
That's
Although
great. God.
chat's pretty
Guys,
confident in Amanda right now, which is kind of interesting.
huh.
Um, but like for New Jersey, I feel like you have to put the car in places the other person's not willing to put the car in, and I feel like Cameron is more likely to do that than Amanda. That's my
Yes, I
argument.
agree. Dude's a monster. However, wait, play devil's advocate. Amanda's dating Connor Sorensen, and she's been going to Ireland and driving with him. So, I mean, like, you
You
got
mean
one of the
Connor
best trips.
Shanahan? Ding dong.
What did I say?
Connor Sorensen.
Oh fuck! He'd probably take the last. I'm kidding. That's a joke. He wouldn't take the last. I don't know if he'd take the last name. It's 2025. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, Connor fucking Shanahan, not
Yeah.
Sorensen. That's what I mean. But like it seems like looking at her driving with the little 350Zs they got over there at 360 Motorsports Park. They are she's definitely getting better at tandeming the chase and like getting closer and putting the risk onto people's doors. So I think this will be good. More than anything, this is an ego battle for the siblings. It's gonna be a bloodbath. So I'm excited to watch.
Honestly, I kind of expect there to be some carnage. Not gonna lie.
Yes.
So I'm excited for the battle. I think it'll be fun. The chat is. I think we're gonna end the votes here. Chat definitely said Amanda, but not by much. 54% over 45%. So that's kind of an interesting go about it. All right, let's see. And by the way, so that means Shelly has won according to the chat, and so has Amanda. So putting some faith in some of the women is. So that's cool. That's cool. Didn't Amanda get her first? That's right. Amanda did get a podium at New Jersey
Yes.
last year. So,
yep.
And Squimby said we are pronouncing it right. Let's go.
Go. Go.
I would. You should at least like try to put a vowel in there somewhere, but teach their own, I guess. Would just help out. All right, we got Lewis Lanes versus the guy that probably should win this. I mean, if you're just looking at like driving talent and experience at the track.
Yeah.
But there's a problem with that, and there's a curse on the track.
That's what it seems like. Listen, as long as Mr. Jager doesn't drop 2 or 3 tires off the freaking track, Alex, stop over driving and going off track. As long as that doesn't happen, I'm going Alex Jager on this.
I mean that's the big question, because I've
Yeah.
seen Alex put on some of the best practice runs, like up there with pro practice chases and stuff. Like I've
Yes,
seen it,
I agree. Yeah.
but then as soon as the competition starts, it's like something
Just
silly.
nerves. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm in his ear too. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's like he seems chill. He's like acting the same. I don't know if it's like right when he pulls to the line, or it's like things just go through his head, like he gets nervous, like all the
Hmm.
scenarios. It's definitely a mindset thing more than anything, dude. It's all it is, in my opinion. But as long as he keeps his head on his shoulders, I don't know what the term is, but as long as he's chill, I feel like he'll he can get it for sure.
Interesting. Phil said that Luis was struggling in the wet at the Gambler, and he said if it does rain, he might be in trouble. That'll be
Yes, I
interesting because
know
I mean
Alex.
Luis is
Alex
from.
is very good in the wet because he used to be a
Hmm.
rally driver. That was before he was a drifter. He did a rally,
Yeah.
so he knows how to go through the gravel and the wet, all
Hmm.
that good stuff. Loves to go off the gravel recently because he likes to dip 3 tires off track. Why don't you just take that Z and turn it into a rally car again, bud? Anyway,
Oh man, but uh, it'll be again. It'll be interesting to see. Luis, I know, is from the California area, so I don't assume they see a lot of rain over there, in terms of rain driving and stuff. But uh, Rebel be in the chat this event? The only important question is, will Rebel be in the chat this event? I don't know. I hope so.
that
And
is.
obviously, Herbie, that's honestly a good question for Herbie, but unfortunately, he can't make it. But you guys will see a ton of Herbie this weekend. So I would not sweat
Yeah.
it too much. All right, now we're going to go to the other side. Oh, this
Side.
will be a fun one.
This should be good. I feel like these guys have battled each other quite a few times the past couple of years.
Yeah, they have matched up multiple times throughout their careers, at least in Prospec,
Yeah, I agree.
and it's usually a fun one, usually a fun
Yeah,
battle.
yeah. So, like, seeing Matt post his a clip on Instagram of him testing, the car seems to work a lot better than Atlanta, that Mustang.
Yeah,
If he could not be a little wuss and put his rear bumper, put the rear of his car in the outer zone one, I think we will have something cool going on there.
yeah, because
Dustin's
that
also
because the
solid.
thing with Dustin Miles, and I guess I never did specify the battle. There's a bunch of names here, and if you can't tell, it's Matthew Bystrack versus Dustin Miles here. Um, Dustin's always been that consistency. That's what's given him success in the past. And then he's a driver that is a really good chase driver, but does does really okay. So he's really good at proximity, but he does that at a deciment of angle usually. That's kind of this is how he drives. He's always driven like that. Um,
Yeah,
and so the real interesting thing is going to be how is that going to work out for him at this round? Um, obviously Bystrack made some steering changes. It looked like, or sounds like, and it sounds like the car is driving a lot better, at least from what you said and what I've heard from Herbie. So it'll be really interesting to see him, you know, like you said, actually, have a decent outing where he's not just fighting the car the whole time. But you already know Dustin's going to be hard, right? Like he's going to
yeah,
be legit competition every time you go up against him.
yeah.
And it's interesting because the chat seems that we have some Bystrack fans here going.
That live stream with him was something else, dude.
Dude, that was good fun. Oh man, we'll definitely have him back on. We'll have people back on. It's hard to bring people on when we're going over brackets like this because I feel
Yeah,
like we want to talk about them or like their program and get to all of that, and there's just no way you can do that and then also cover like what's going on in the event. So
yeah,
that's kind of why I was like, I could bring someone on or try to, but it's just not. It didn't make sense.
Brandon
So
V saying I'm rooting for the WNBA lover. Yeah, his favorite team is Give me a second. I don't know any of their names. Give me a second. NBA
oh
team.
man.
He's a big fan of the New York Liberty, I hear.
Yeah, is that
And
is that what it is?
the Indiana Fever with Caitlin Clark. Loves that team, Indiana Fever. That's his favorite.
I mean,
Big Caitlin
see,
Clark.
these are the
Yep.
rumors I like to start. These are good
He's
ones.
he's a big Caitlin Clark fan. If anything, for his birthday, I don't know what his birthday is, but you guys should get him a Caitlin Clark jersey. He'd really enjoy that.
Yes, you would.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh man. All right. So Chad apparently is thinking Bystrack is winning at 87% over Dustin Miles. I'm gonna have to tell Dusty about that. See what he says. That'll be that'll be interesting. All right. Let's hit this final Prospec battle, and then we'll get to finals, and then we can move over to the pro side, which I'm sure they finally changed the battles. So we're finally seeing some new ones. I'm excited.
Yes.
All right. The last battle we have that we know we can talk about is Jack Davis versus Chris Leonard.
I'm going Jack Davis.
Couple. I mean, Jack I think has been in Prospec a couple more years than Chris has, but they both have been
Yes.
in for a minute.
Yes.
Jack.
And I think Jack is just a more refined driver. Not that no I don't dislike Chris. However, he's just a bit of a wild one, you know? And this track you definitely need to be precise. Precision here is everything. You get your car right on that outer white line and just set it there and just ride around it on all those outer zones. I mean, hot diggity, you're gonna be in a great place. I feel like Jack is a lot more refined in that manner, in that E36 compared to Chris and the good old S550.
Yeah, another Mustang enjoyer.
Yes.
But so with Jack also, I think he's another guy that is low key, looking for that podium. One of those guys that I think he's had some podiums in previous years. I can't remember how many, but I know he's been up there a couple times. So,
Yes. I think so. Maybe.
yes. So one of those guys that I think is trying to put it together for a full season, um,
Yep.
and try and fight there. Obviously, Chris is night and day better than when he first came in to Prospec.
Yep.
He's figured out a lot with that Mustang. Obviously, Bystrack's kind of going through the growing pains right now of that car.
Yep.
Because believe it or not, those cars are not, at least they're not easy, I don't think, to set up in terms of, what you got
Definitely
to do
not.
to them and to make them actually drive well, especially, obviously they come with that electric power steering and they're
Mhm.
really long wheelbases, heavy
Yeah.
cars, so there's just a lot that is going against them to m- easily make them competitive. Whereas
Agreed.
as far as like you drive an E36 or an E46, well, that's kind of cheating. They're already set up with perfect suspension.
Yeah.
They're light, like and there's already a playbook on what to do to them.
You can put like any motor in them. You can put an LS, JZ,
Yeah.
RB if you really want to. Yeah.
So that is definitely, the hard part of getting new chassis to work. I mean, obviously, I don't know if you saw Drift HQ just came out with, I think it was Duarte's was it an F30?
30. Yeah. That
That
car
thing,
is hot.
that thing looks sick, right?
Tell you what.
But I'm curious to see on a competitive side, someone bring something like that out and kind of, okay, how's it going to work? Obviously,
Supposedly it weighs like 2,800 pounds without him in it.
wow,
So a light car.
that's light, yeah.
Yeah. And it's
Um,
about the same wheelbase as it's like 3 inches longer wheelbase wise than an E92. And it's got similar suspension to like E92,
yeah.
F22,
Which people are
F87,
still
whatever.
figuring out the E92s, to be fair, too,
Yeah.
in terms of,
Multi-link is pretty weird.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
and which is why you haven't seen a ton of them out there.
yeah.
Do you know what kind of suspension's underneath Rome's car?
The E82,
Yeah.
essentially E92. It's an E92 but shorter. That's all an
Okay.
E82. Yeah.
Gotcha, but it's still got that multi-link
Yep.
deal underneath it. All right, so it
Yep.
looks like we got Davis winning here against Chris, 80% to 20. I'm gonna agree with that one as well. All right, so let's go ahead and pull this back up, and it's gonna be kind of hard to read to get all these names in here. But if you can kind of see what we're talking about, I think that's no, can't.
Who's getting the dub? Who's getting the
Who we see it in
dub?
the finals, and why is it gonna be? I
Beats
just
me.
I just have a feeling it's gonna be. Who actually? There's a couple guys I'm looking at.
It could honestly be anyone. I honestly don't know.
I'm
As
looking at.
long whoever's the
Yeah,
most consistent that day and like decides to
I want to
not
see
fool
some people
around.
pushing cars around, and I feel like there's a guy right now with the chip on his shoulder, and that's Cole Richards.
Oh yeah, Cole Richards is winning that right side, 110%.
I want to see the battle
Sorry,
between
Matt.
him and Dimitri. That's gonna be
Would
a
be
fun
good.
one.
That would be good.
Yeah,
I think, yeah, Cole. If that car holds together, Homeboy is out for blood. He's ready
yeah.
for it.
Which, to be
He's
fair,
tired
he's
of
good.
losing.
I mean, you look at his bracket; it's not really easy. You got Trevor
It's
Root, who
not.
just won the Gambler, and then you got
You
Cody
got
Buchanan.
Cody Buchanan. You got Jack Davis. Yeah, God knows who he's going to go against in the seeding from the
Yeah,
seeding round. So it's just,
it's a pretty intense side of the bracket. On the other
yeah.
side, honestly, I mean, here's the thing: is the Corey Talaska that we saw in Atlanta the one that we're getting in Jersey? We saw
I
him
don't know.
practice
We'll see.
because I
We'll
I like
see.
his odds. If it's the guy we saw in Atlanta, I like it. I like his
Yeah.
odds,
We'll
honestly.
see. We'll see. I think we'll see if
Chen's
that confidence
yeah,
carries
Chen's
over.
always a guy it's out there. Colin Zielinski's a really interesting rookie as well.
Yes. I think
Very
he's
consistent,
very
not
good.
afraid to
I
hit
don't think he's
people and like
terrible.
get
Yeah.
you know.
For
Josh Stewart, another
a rookie to get top 8 in Atlanta for
hmm
Prospec, very impressive, you
very
know?
impressive. And the only reason he got knocked out, I think it was a car issue.
Yes,
Um,
it sounded like his motor was gonna explode.
yeah.
Sound like a
Josh
tractor.
Stewart also got top
Yes.
four. So,
Yes.
uh, again, I think that's a night and day difference between his rookie season and this year as well in terms of driving. So,
He's been driving a lot. Does hot
hmm
pit. Got a couple podiums in hot pit this year so far, I'm pretty sure. So, man of
definite,
culture over there. So,
exactly.
we'll
So,
see.
a lot of interesting names this round, but I'm going finals of Corey Talaska and Cole Richards. That's kind of my pick, and I think Cole's just gonna push people around the track because that's just what he does. And I think he's getting his first win.
Okay.
I think
There you
his
go.
car. I think his car. I don't know. I assume it's the old chassis still with the old motor, still for Jersey. I haven't seen any news that he's got the new engine,
Yeah, I think he's still in
which is fine because
the
that'll work for Jersey.
yeah.
Utah. Yeah, I know he said he liked
Utah is the
driving the
only
car
one.
without the blower in Utah last year. I still think he could use a blower or some more power adder of some kind for Utah. But I think his car is perfect for Jersey. So
Yeah.
I definitely think he's the guy to watch coming into this. But like you said, Trevor Root's right there, and he just won the Gambler.
Yeah, there
So
we go.
all right. Let's move over to the pro section because this is I know what everyone came for. We had to get through Prospec. I love all you Prospec guys, but let's be honest, this is what we're here for now. Good old pro side. And obviously, pro bracket works a little bit different. We actually only are really worried about the last qualifying person
Yes.
in the seeding
Which
bracket.
is
Tommy,
who is it this round?
which
TLO, Daigo, and Federico.
yeah. So
Uh,
TLO is going to be pushing. Obviously, he's got to beat Literal, who is, let's face it, a good driver and
yes.
with a working car this year.
Yes.
I
And
don't
he's
know what
got a
that
better
battle against
power
him and
band now.
Hansen was. I don't know what was going on with that car, but it
You
was not
know,
working.
I didn't know either. I don't know what the
But
fuck was happening there.
but the rest of the weekend he was fine for some reason.
Yes. Brad Dan's going to be a happy camper this round. Let's go. Little
Yeah.
Byron off the bat. That's what's up.
So it'll be good to see a happy Dan.
Yes, it will
Not
be.
a mad Dan.
Mad Dan.
But yeah, so let's get into our first set of battles here. We got Connor O'Sully versus Hurst. And
Hurst finally in the seeding bracket.
Hurst is finally
He gets
in the
some
seeding
points.
bracket with
Get some
0
point.
points.
Doesn't have to go against Kengushi every round. Let's go.
Oh man, so let's get, I'm gonna get the poll up here.
This will be good. I think Hurst has a chip on his shoulder. Like he needs to kick it into high gear and like lock the fuck in. And I think Jersey's a good track for him. O'Sully though, O'Sully does well here.
He does, and he also is going to be
Don't quote
upset
me.
from losing in
Yeah, the way
Orlando.
he did. Yeah.
And like it was because he pushed too hard, you know. But I feel like
Yeah.
Orlando's a track that's going to bite you if you do that. I think you
Yeah.
get rewarded if you do that in New Jersey.
I agree.
But Hurst has had some amazing battles here.
Yes.
I think of a couple years ago him against Matt Field one more timing. I think like 3 times or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it was like a patchy track still. I don't honestly. I think this is going to be a pretty spicy one.
He'll be.
And I'm glad.
I think he'll go OMT.
I know, and I'm glad that they're not a higher rank in terms of numbers because these guys are. I'm glad it would be good to see both these guys probably moving on, unless you know all of the lower seeds win and then Hurst loses, for example.
That would be kind of crazy.
It was kind of crazy last round. 2 of the lowest seeds won. And that's how O'Sully got knocked out.
Yeah.
And it's crazy is Mata lost his battle against Freddie, so he would have been knocked out if O'Sully would have won. So
yeah,
a bunch of the, but yeah. So obviously TLO is your first guy on the block, and then Daigo, and then Freddie.
Yes.
All right, let's see what the chat thinks on this one because I don't know who I'm picking on this.
Chat. See, leaning towards Hurst.
It is leaning towards Hurst, which I get. You know, I've seen Hurst at this track bully people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've also seen Connor O'Sully bully people at this track, so that was in Prospec. I assume he's sticking with his same chassis, same engine. I don't see a reason why he would put the big engine in. For this round on O'Sully. But yeah, so we're gonna end the poll off here. Hurst does get the win against O'Sully according to the chat, but it is a close one, and I expect it's gonna be close. I wouldn't be surprised if one more time at all. And moving on to probably the most important battle of the night. Or at least, yes, of seeding bracket at least. And that is Ryan Literal versus TLO Tommy Lemaire. So I'm just kind of I want your impressions on Tommy's driving with the Corvette so far this year.
Well, Long Beach it broke, so that wasn't a good impression. Atlanta was, I think it was a wash, in my opinion. Then Orlando, man, he figured that car out. He was throwing in entries I never thought anyone would have the balls to do, and it was sticking. He was doing it. So my thought, Tommy is having those just absolutely gnarly entries again this round. You know, maybe just tons of angle and just speed, like what he's known for.
Yeah.
I think he's got it. But, new car, it's Jersey, anything can happen. Ryan's got that car dialed. Like that thing is ready to go. It's like he just needs himself to like head on the shoulders, ready to go. I think he can like make some waves, like get close to a win type of thing with Ryan. Like he more power band, more low end, more mid range. Like that thing's getting good. So I think this will be a good battle too. If I were to put money on it, probably would go Ryan.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think TLO, his back's up against the wall. I think he's pushing it, and I think he's going to be
Yeah.
pushing harder than Literal is. I think he's going to be pushing it in areas that, and it's so. Here's my prediction: either TLO is going to win or lose this battle, and it's going to depend on him. He's either losing
Sure.
it because he pushed too hard, or he's winning it because he pushed harder than Ryan did.
Ryan.
Then that's
Yeah. I
that's just
mean,
kind of the prediction
we'll
I'm making.
see. If Ryan's car's set up where it's not freewheeling everywhere, then I think he has a chance. But if
No,
I think
Nick,
Orlando against Rudy,
because
like
Ryan's a good
that
driver.
was
Ryan's a great
pure
driver.
car setup.
He's gonna
Yeah.
be on TLO's door. Is he gonna be pushing him around the track though? That's the question.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be give him a gap on transition and then kind of pop in, or is he as they're transitioning back on the door?
Yeah. I think he could turn it
Kind of
up and
thing.
be like bumper scraping door to door type of thing.
So
So I honestly don't know. I don't know. I know about a lot of these. There's no like blatant winner. Then okay, that's a lie. The next two I can give you a winner, but these first two are very much like I get what you're saying. Like TLO has so much at stake here. Like he doesn't want to pack up
he's
on
already got
30.
his crash out of the way.
Yeah,
He's already
already
crashed the
got his
car.
crash. Yeah,
So, you know, it's not nice and pretty and new anymore. It,
yeah,
he smashed it pretty good in Orlando. Power steering went out on him and put it
yeah.
into the wall. So, I think TLO is going to be pushing it harder than Ryan is. Again, we'll see if it's too much though. And the
Yeah.
chat also agrees. TLO winning 71% to 28% literal. So I don't know if you're surprised by that, but I think
Nope.
TLO has proved that he belongs in pro.
I
And so the
agree.
question is, how far is he going to take it? Next battle, I'm excited for this one. This is going to be a fun one. We got Andy Haitley, the Drift Wizard,
Wizard
doing his thing.
Diego.
And then you got Diego.
I got Diego Santos over here.
Oh, man.
Oh man, this will be good too. I'm curious to
To
see
be
how
fair,
Daigo does
if
here.
there's a track that Daigo is going to excel at, it's probably this one.
Here, I think. Well, if you look at the past, just like his previous successes, he always did well at like Seattle, Irwindale. Like
Okay.
even in that GTR, that was an absolute dog to drive. That thing looked like that thing sucked.
Right.
But he top eight, finals, final fours in the GTR at these big tracks. But I feel like here as well, if you set your car up right, like just having a short, nice figure eight, I feel like for Daigo, just like how he practices in the little Fat Five land figure eight with the Miatas and such and the small tracks in Japan. I think this could suit him a little more than the previous tracks that he's been to, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's 50
Especially,
50 right now.
oh,
So, curious
man.
to see where this goes. Um, the thing with also Andy though here, I feel like he's confident at this track. I think there's some tracks where he's not the most confident driver, or at least the way the car is set up. It
Yeah.
doesn't look confident. But here he's driven this enough times to where he's gonna know where to put the car, where to be. He's had success here in Prospec, and Obviously, this is Daigo's first time here.
Yeah.
Not that it's the most difficult track in the world, but I mean, if we're getting rain, could make things interesting.
Yeah. No, 100%.
CFC Fire says there's 4 walls for Daigo to hit. I bet the house on Haley. Oh man, you guys are brutal. But I don't know. Could be cool. Could be cool. All right, we're gonna end the poll off there. Andy does squeak out a win at 58% over 41% Daigo. So
I would have gone Daigo, to be honest. No, that's very not like me.
mm-hmm.
But
I think you're just scared. I think you're scared you're gonna eat your words.
no, 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 no. Let's try and be a little more positive. I haven't had the best of weeks. So I'm trying to be a little more positive.
Okay.
Anyway, there we go. Byron's being Brutski because it's an S54. Got him. Just kidding. Anyway, let's see here. Mana versus Shanahan. That would be. I'm going to Shanahan. This is a Shanahan track. Both Connor and Jack. Like this is the track for them. Like their track to be good at is Jersey. It's like just like the Drift Masters Poland track, very similar layout, a little figure eight, some little clips on it. Going Jack.
It's hard to argue that. Not gonna lie, hard to argue. Obviously, Austin's gonna make it competitive. He always does. He always puts it out there. For me, it's the reliability of Jack's car.
Yeah. Well, it seems to have been fine in wait, was it fine in Orlando? In 32, was it fine? Why did
I
he
think it
lose
was
in
fine.
32?
Yeah, I think he just got beat in Orlando.
Who did he lose to again? I forgot already.
I'm trying to remember. I could look it up, but I don't. Yeah, you look it up.
We're looking it up. We'll keep it right here. All right, let's see here.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, this is like you said, a Shanahan style track, and a track that you would expect them both to perform well. But Mana does have the experience over here compared to Jack. So
yeah.
I mean, I love Austin, but it's going to be hard to go against Jack on this one.
Yeah.
And the chat is definitely agreeing as well at 90% right now.
Good job, chat.
For Jack on the win.
Here's the bracket. Dylan Hughes. Okay, he lost against D Hughes. That's
understandable.
Respectable.
You know, that's respectable. Dylan is always a ripper in Orlando.
Yeah. Let's see here. Jack and 5 for sure. Jack will definitely get that.
Celine
Drift
calling out,
throwing out. Wow. Jack better figure out how to match angle. Wowzers.
To be fair, Mata does not have that problem.
True. I don't know. I feel like Jack does a better job at matching angle than Connor, in my opinion.
That's true. I would agree. Proximity has always been Connor's thing.
Yes. That's why he does so well.
And consistency. That's always been the Achilles heel of Jack.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
He won RDS in 2021, I think. 2021 is when Jack won RDS. So he's a good driver. You put it together. It's just when it is put together, it's just like,
Yeah, I'm excited. It'll be a fun battle regardless.
Yes, I agree.
We're going to go ahead and end it off the poll here. It was 85% Jack getting the win. Like I said, going to be hard to argue that. You got Rudy Hansen getting a bye. I'm sure he's going to appreciate that one. And the final battle of our gauntlet, as they call it. Is that what they call New Jersey? The gauntlet?
The armpit.
Yep. Going against Freddie, who got a couple wins last round. One of them was running over a car. And then the other one, the car crashed in front of him. But he did get wins regardless.
And I am going Nick Novak, and you know my reasoning, and that's all I'm going to say. it. Nick Novak. I think I don't know. Federico has definitely gotten that car to drive well. It's just like his chases. Like we saw it in Orlando against Chris when Federico laid down a very good lead, but like in his chase, he like surged onto Chris's door and got scared, and then he pulled out. This track, as you've been saying, is all about aggression. So your aggression, and you can push some doors in. Do it. I hope he puts a little tire on that Ferrari door. Put a little dent in it. Doesn't matter. It's drifting. If he gets mad, he gets mad. Boo hoo. That's how you win battles. Doesn't matter if it's a way too expensive of a car to be an FD, but it's okay.
Yeah, I mean,
go no back.
it's also the other thing is the bad luck. I don't know if it's bad luck or just. I feel like Nick is gonna get a win here soon. It's crazy to see both Freddie and Daigo get wins before Nick Novak does this season.
Yeah. Nick is like currently last in the championship right now, which is
tied with Hurst.
Sucks to see. Yeah. And Von Gittin. Von Gittin's been here.
Yeah, and it's just not like him. Usually, he's won Irwindale. He's a guy that you expect to be fighting for top 16s. And just little things have been eating at him, or he'll make a weird mistake that I'm not used to him making, or like Orlando, for example, like putting it into the wall after an amazing chase run on Osbo, and it's like, what are you doing? Like you had it.
Yeah. I mean, there's that little rut. He hasn't been out of the top 32 since Orlando 2024. So it's like, we just need to get that run. Put big boy pants on and just go out and have some fun and go drive. And I think just driving to have fun, because I talked to him a good bit, and I feel like every time he's like, I'm going to win this round. And like the past 8-9 events, it just hasn't paid off for him. I think maybe going out and being like, I'm going to have some fun, kick some ass, that sort of mentality would be a little better.
Exactly. And
that's just me.
The thing is the chat agrees. The chat also said 92% Novak getting the win. I think he's gonna have a good weekend. I think it's gonna start to, the sun is gonna start shining on him a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. If he drove like he did in Riverside a couple of years ago, where he won, he's gonna be good.
Yeah, and Sean says he's been on it with nothing to show for this year. We're gonna change that. New stuff on the car this round, and a clear head. That's good to hear.
Okay.
Good to hear. And like I said, I'm definitely expecting a good weekend here in the next couple rounds. I think Novak is one of those guys that's just gonna have a really good weekend. We'll see him in a top 8 or something, and it's gonna be like, oh yeah,
like he's
not
back.
Surprising.
Welcome back. Yeah.
Alrighty, so let's go ahead and move into. So I do want to go through the finals on this one. We have the time, so we're gonna do. And I gotta go up, look at the chat. We had Hurst beating O'Sully 58%. So next battle, we're gonna kind of throw out there as our fantasy. Need to call this like our fantasy battle segment. Of who wins. And it's going to be Dan Burkett versus Jonathan Hurst. So I just got to type the name.
Dan Burkett versus Jonathan Hurst.
Talk about an awesome battle.
Pretty good battle right there.
That's going to be a fun one. All right, let's get this poll going.
Bill with the great comment, if Novak loses, he should come back next round with Ferrari. I know where you could get one too. I know exactly where.
Oh boy.
Let's see here. Who wins? I'm going Radical Daniel. I spotted for Chris Forsberg last year at this track, and Radical Daniel was actually one of the fastest guys here last year.
Really?
Yes, he was faster by probably Not much. It was like 0.3, 0.4, or half a second, depending on the run. But Radical Daniel was very quick driver. If he puts it together, I feel like he's definitely got
Was
a
he
chip on
filling
his
the
shoulder.
zones when he did that, or was it like
Yep.
yeah,
It was like good driving from Rad Dan.
that's cool.
Yeah, now that I think about it, he could have been a little more outside in some places. But I think it was acceptable amounts of zone filling, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And he's a guy that I don't think he's had the exact year that he's wanted.
Yeah.
Um, Probably was hoping to not be in seeding bracket, by this point in
Yeah.
the year, and he's just not broken away out of seeding bracket like maybe you would think, especially with the new changes he has in the rear end for this year. But um, this would be a fun battle. I think
Yeah.
this
I mean, he gets those 3 points either way, you know?
exactly that'll be good for him.
He'd be in the 32. That's all that matters.
Exactly. And chat is also agreeing with you. I personally probably am voting Hurst on this one, just because I know what Hurst can do at this track. I've seen it, and I've seen him one more time. Very very good drivers here. Um, but yeah, chat's definitely going with not by a lot, but like they're going Rad Dan at 57%. So we're gonna go on head off, and just for time's sake, gonna end this one off and keep her moving. Next battle we had, I think it was TLO beating, and it would be Andy Haitley. Just verifying. Yep, TLO
Yes.
Andy Haitley. Yes. All right. Let me get that one in the chat here.
That hypothetical, I'm going TLO all day, every day, twice on Sundays.
TLO, and then you got Andy. As you can tell, I am the fastest typer of all time.
You should take in those typing classes in like middle school, you know?
Yeah, that was my worst grade in middle school, was typing.
That's insane.
I didn't like it when they put the box over the keyboard. I was like, I can't see.
Bro, you didn't practice with like nitro type or nothing? That was like my biggest motivator. Like I was trying to win that race, typing them words out, you know?
Oh, I was awful. I hated it. But I am technologically illiterate, so there is that.
You're a media guy, which is crazy.
Yeah. Well, cameras are quite simple when it comes to technology, to be fair. It's the editing that's more technical. Um, I want to see Dan. I'm just going to read a couple comments here. Mike said, I want to see Dan win, but my money is on Hurst here. Valid. Phil said, I hope Brad Dan wins, but it's going to be very hard to knock out Hurst in New Jersey. Again, agree with you, Phil. Celine says, agree, Hurst is a beast. Although, chat did pick Dan. And just saying. His dad
Yeah.
his dad.
Got
Has
it.
Dan ever podiumed in pro? I do not believe so. He's been close. I know he's made a couple top 8s, but he has, I don't believe, ever podiumed. What we did typing in 4th grade. Okay, Connor. What grade did I do typing in?
I did mine in 7th grade.
You did it was way earlier than 7th.
It
I
was
know it was
7th.
in a middle school.
6th or 7th.
Yeah, I was in a middle school. I don't remember what grade it was though. I just remember I was not good at it.
Kicked ass. It was great.
Let's see. I'm sure the kids these days are starting earlier. I mean, the kids.
Eh,
I'm curious.
kids,
Like,
they're on
obviously,
the
I have a
iPad.
little one at home now. I am like, we're not supposed to like show them screens until like age 3. For like brain reasons, or like so that you're supposed to do or whatever. But it's so hard because like the TV will be playing, and keep in mind he's 3 months old, right? And he's like picking his head up and just looking over at the TV and watching it in his like little hangout bed thing. And it's like, dude, you're not supposed to be watching that, but he's like so entertained by the colors changing. It's like, oh, this is gonna be a tough one. Yo, old ass boomer mentality. What's up, Nikhil? All right, TLO, let's see what we got here. TLO winning at 80% over Andy Haley. All right, we're going to end off the poll there as TLO gets the win on that one. Next up, we got Dimitri versus Jack Shanahan, and that's going to be a spicy one.
That'd be a good one. Yeah.
From the guy that's, I mean, how many gamblers has Dimitri won? I feel like it's been a bunch.
I have no clue. Enough. How many Prospec championships has the guy won?
I mean, obviously, Prospec, he's
Also
won a bunch at this track. So
Yeah.
it's a track that I would expect this for Dimitri to be almost, not his best at, but like, probably his best chance to finish high would be this track.
Gotcha.
All right. There we go. We got the poll going now. Dimitri's a hard name to spell. I'll probably still spell it wrong. Should have just said Brudski. It's written right there.
You did spell it wrong.
Okay. Sick. Oh, man. But, I mean, like you said, this is Jack Shanahan's style track. If there's a track that Jack's going to win at, it's probably going to be something like this.
Yeah.
He won the first on his this year. Phil, I can't read. He won the first on this year on that track with his Prospec.
He won the first gambler here
at
this track.
I was having a mental breakdown reading.
It wasn't great, Phil, but I deciphered it. No problem. No problem. You're welcome.
I had a conniption reading that comment. I was like, my brain can't function.
Phil needs to go back to the typing class.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, he won the first gambler at that track in the Prospec car. My screen is on seating. That is correct. Connor said that.
And well, yeah, that's what
we're going over seating brackets still.
Come on, stick to the program. We're doing hypothetical battles.
Hypotheticals.
Who's gonna win? Who's gonna lose? Crash.
Oh man. Let's see. Poll is definitely picking Jack over Dimitri. Again, not too surprising, but I if this is a theoretical battle, I think it's gonna be a fun one. Loco, we don't judge here. That's a lie. That is 100% a lie. Everyone judges here. I feel like, especially when you make Daigo slander comments on here, we definitely get judged for that.
I know what you're talking about. Anyway. Anywho.
All right, we're going to end off the poll there and keep her moving. Jack gets the win, 66% over 33%. Dimitri. Next up, we have Rudy Hansen versus Nick Novak.
Well, Dick.
Man, I really just can't spell. Definitely was never a competitor in those spelling bees. Let's just say that. Let's see. Got that written down. See, Amjask is here. Yeah, I'm here to judge. See, exactly. I told you. Chat's here to judge me. It's all good.
Again.
They also understand that I'm a little slow. All right, especially with technology. Okay. I'm a little special. Okay. But, we're here to have a good time. The entry, Phil said the entry on this track makes or breaks your run. Dimitri has the entry locked down. Jack has never driven it. And you make a good point. Jack, this is going to be the first time he's driven the track. I'm curious to see how quickly he gets it down. Obviously, he has great people and great knowledge base to ask from, just from, being Connor's brother and him driving the track before.
You said that, Phil? Phil, you're overthinking it. Not going to lie.
But, entry is a big part.
It is. I think that's like for a lot of the tracks in FD, like it's your entry makes or break the track. But it's Jack Shanahan. I don't think he's gonna have a trouble with extending out a corner a little bit. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll eat my words, which isn't the first time I've done it this year. So we'll see.
Yeah. Have to go Rudy. I've put enough time working on those cars. I feel bad, Loco. They've definitely done a number on those chassis, but hopefully a clean round for Rudy and those guys. I know last round in Orlando was rough. Just from a pit perspective, I know they lost a lot of electronics because their pit space ended up flooding.
That sucks.
Yeah, super bummer for the Hanson family.
Real unfortunate.
That was kind of annoying, I'm sure. But we're gonna go ahead and end the poll there. 87% for Novak. So chat's picking Novak. I'm gonna agree on that one. All right, who won against? Was it Dan and Hurst? I gotta go back. I have a short-term memory loss, as you can tell. Where's Hurst? No, that's Hurstel Sully. Where is it? Rad Dan winning against Hurst. That's right at 57%. So that means Dan is going against TLO in the top 4 on the left side of the bracket. So that'll be a spicy one.
Yeah.
You got Dan versus TLO. We'll see where this one goes.
Dan versus TLO. I know who I'm voting for, and it's TLO.
All right.
Yeah.
I have to go. Rudy. Oh, yep. I'm judging the hosts and the drivers. Valid point. Celine Drift says, "How about LZ's entry on the RTR?" That was why he ended up winning that pro round. I think was because he was throwing such nasty angle on entry with that Mustang, and that's where he ended up winning the pro round. Was because of the entry, and it was. I don't know if chaseable is the most ideal term, but the fact that he wasn't making major corrections after throwing it almost backwards into outer one and sticking it, I mean, doesn't mean that you like it's not like the easiest thing to chase, but it's also fluid and crazy angle. And if you can get away with it, then you can do it, right?
Yeah.
Which that was a crazy one. Where's the
I
Sara
don't know
chick?
if TLO would be able to do that, but I feel like just car speed, that sort of thing. I don't know. We'll see what happens when he pulls the car off the trailer.
Yeah. Where's that Sara chick at? I'm not trying to see these plebs. I agree. Definitely needs some better looking people on here. That's for sure. But she is unfortunately her new work schedule just makes it difficult for her to make it to these shows now. But she'll definitely be popping up a lot more later in the year at some different rounds and stuff. And we'll be doing stuff with Sara throughout the rest of the year as well. Just right now, her work schedule kind of keeps her from coming on these. Mike says I'm Canadian, so gotta go TLO. Respect it.
Fact, yeah.
At least someone in Canada is a little nationalistic. That's good. You guys have a little pride in your country. Regardless of dropping a tire or two, those entries threw everyone off. And it's true. Like LZ also got third last year in New Jersey in the A36. Yeah, so Adam definitely has the this track down, and we'll talk about him when we get over to the top 32 section. All right, let's see. TLO definitely pulling ahead here against Rad Dan. Are you surprised by that?
TLO pulling ahead of Rad Dan?
Yeah,
No.
well, he won 72% over 27% to Rad Dan.
I mean, the TLO hype is there for one. He's not terrible either. And Yeah, I don't know. It seems like just stat wise, TLO's shown more than Dan, unfortunately. So
All right.
where it's
Chat
at.
has spoken. Let's just say that. All right. Next, we got Novak versus Jack Shanahan. This will be a spicy one.
Yep. Sorry, Nick.
your
Gotta say.
your weekend ends
Sorry.
here, is what Brandon's
I wouldn't
saying.
say his weekend, but the
Or yeah,
seating bracket. I mean, maybe again, like Jack Shanahan's Jack Shanahan. It's a Shanahan, but also new track. Nick, I feel like has he done he's done well, not nifty here, but uh,
I know he did well at the game, or there was a 50K that was there, I
yeah,
believe.
the Riverside 50K.
Fair.
But he has a chip on his shoulder. He's not going to be scared to put it into people's doors. So I don't know. I do
Yeah.
not know.
Phil, how did TLO do at the Gambler? I'm just curious. Because Phil said TLO did drive the Gambler too. Although he was, they drove the Gambler at the road course, so not at quite apples to apples. The only OB1 at the Gambler, Sara yelled at the Injuku for revving their car during the broadcast. 10 out of 10 fan of Sara. Yeah, well, Sarah's not afraid to tell people to shut up. Let's just say that, or she will speak her mind. All right, cool. All right, and so let's check out our votes going on right now. Jack is actually pretty far ahead of Nick here, so that's interesting. So we're going to end the poll here. 80% said Jack Shanahan. Kind of hard to argue that, but all right, cool. So that means we get a
Julio.
finals of TLO versus Jack Shanahan.
Well,
Was that the finals that you would pick?
uh, I didn't even pick one in my head. I was
Well, that's what
just
I'm saying. Pick one now.
pick one now. I would have gone probably. No, yeah, this is probably I would have gone with. I could see that happening.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, it'd be cool to see the homies, literal and no back. It'd be always cool. We'll
I
see the
think
homies.
I would go with Hurst.
Yeah, he did well in seating last year at this track. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
Don't quote
So,
me on that. Yeah.
yeah. So I think I would go Hurst in the finals versus.
You think Hurst is gonna beat TLO?
Yep.
Okay, there we go. Right here first.
Yeah. Because I think he
Yep.
lost in the chat. I think he lost to Rad Dan, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
Yeah. So
I
chat
think
said Dan
so.
was going to beat him. I think he would beat. I think he's going to beat Rad Dan. Um, and then I think Nick Novak is the other guy that I'm looking at. Probably might be a finalist
Yeah.
if I had to, pick someone other than Jack. But
Yeah. No, I
looks like
agree.
Jack is pulling ahead pretty
Winning
quick
by a
here over
landslide
TLO
here.
in
And another
in the chat for
12
this
points.
fantasy battle.
Yeah. Another 12 real quick. That's what's up.
Mm-hmm. And if Jack keeps doing this in the seating bracket, he's keeping himself relevant for that, like top 10 chase. That rookie of the
Yeah,
year.
no, 100%.
Um, actually, I am kind of curious. I want to quick look up rookie of the year. So while I'm at this, Formula Drift standings, view current pro standings. All right, so yep, Jack Shanahan is ahead of Austin Mata by 6 points right now. For
Okay.
Rookie of the Year in 19th place. Jack Shanahan has 18 points, and he is roughly 20 points away, which is actually his brother Connor Shanahan in 10th. So
Huh.
that's definitely, you get 12 points in seeding, you're already halfway to getting back into the top 10, and that's not even including top 32. So
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't like the seating. Just side note, still don't like the seating points that like denoting of things, but I do like how close the points are this year, making things rather interesting halfway through.
exactly, and
Yes.
someone has to do is win a couple of these seeding brackets, and then they're like, oh, okay, back in
Yeah.
back in like even like a top 10 contention, which is crazy.
Yeah. Like I mean, Stookie won that one in Long Beach in a 16. Didn't win anything in Atlanta and won a 16 in Orlando, and he's 12th right now. It's pretty cool.
It's crazy.
Crazy to see.
Yeah. So it looks like Jack Shanahan is going to be winning this battle here.
Congratulations, Jack Shanahan.
Yeah. So that means he wins the seeding bracket, theoretically,
Yes.
in theory.
And
But
he gets one Guinness from Sneaky Pete's.
yeah. All right.
Terrible
Let's
joke.
let's let's
Sorry.
break it down. Let's see. It's already. Jeez, oh Pete's. Time flies. All right. Let's hit up top 32 main event.
Top
Um.
32.
Yeah, I guess we can have some fun with a couple of the battles that are listed
I
here.
think we got four, right? We
Yep,
got four again.
we got four again. So you got D Mads, who's the guy that was in seeding bracket that moves up because he got that top 16 victory over Ryan Turk.
Yep.
Um,
Run it back. Run it
run it back.
back.
You know, to be fair, I
I think
think
that, to be
Madison got a
fair, is a
little lucky, with the
little
with the break
lucky.
and everything. But
Yeah, I think it was a fluke from Turk's transmission. I think Turk's got this in the bag for this one, pretty squared away, in my opinion, at
yeah,
least.
assuming the car works. But again,
Yes,
New Jersey is the equalizer when it comes to cars. In terms of
I
like
agree.
grip and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So
Mm,
the first battle is bringing a working car to the battle. That is the first challenge,
it's
which
true.
usually Derek is the one that's having the issues with. So
Yes, I do think again it was a fluke from Turk for having a broken car. It doesn't happen much. Freak accidents happen, and it happened. So is what it is at this point.
tis what it is.
Is what it is. See.
And looking just a quick look at the rest of the kind of the first half of the bracket here. You got James Dean still in the first part of the bracket, just down here now. Um, and then you got Hiro Manoa, you got Turk, and you got Rome. Like pretty pretty killer first bracket here, I think. That's a
Yeah.
pretty mean one. Let's see what
Not
else
too
we got.
terrible.
Yeah, we got Field, Osbo. Okay, so this got some hitters in this one too. Castro, LZ. I this would be a fun bracket to be in, I feel like. Top right. And then Odie, you got Simon, Connor. Wow, this is another group of death down in the bottom right. So top left and
Yeah.
bottom right are pretty gnarly
Oh,
brackets.
100%.
I'm
A
gonna quick end the
100%.
poll off here. You got Turk winning at 90%. Not a major surprise, but Deem Rome rematch. You're right. If
That'd be
they win
cool.
their battles, they go up against each other. That would be a fun one to see. Moving down the line here, we got Ken. So finally changing up the battles here in top 32.
I
By the
know,
way,
right?
shout
Finally,
out,
we're 4 rounds deep. Shout out, Derek Madison. Thank you.
for messing it all up. Thank you.
Yes. No, thank you. I appreciate that.
So now we got Gucci going against Ben Hobson, which Ben is interesting this year because
Yeah.
he looked so good in Long Beach,
Yep.
but then the
Just little
consistency is
mistakes.
now
Yeah.
in question.
little baby mistakes, and it's because of how just on edge that Mustang is. A little mistake is just exemplified into a massive mistake.
Exactly.
Uh,
And when you get into a pro level car, like every little correction and mistake you make gets amplified by 10
yeah.
because you're going so fast and there's so much grip in the car. They're so soft. It's you see every kind of
So
movement,
wicked up,
and
they're very tight.
but that also includes when you get on throttle. Him hitting Simon again. People didn't. Not everyone agreed with the call in Atlanta, but what causes something like that is the fact that you're not expecting to go that fast as well into the side of someone. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so the big question what Ben Hobson are we seeing at New Jersey? Because Orlando's Ben Hobson was not great, and the weird
No,
thing is
yeah.
he did not do that at all in practice. In practice, he was looking solid,
Yeah.
but
That's just what it seems like. It seems like you get into there's a little nerve, a little chip on your shoulder, and it's like gets you.
and he's going against the king of consistency.
Yeah.
Like
Mr.
Ken Gucci, if
Tanguchi-san.
if you had to
Yeah.
name probably the most consistent driver in FD to always do a 90-point lead run, he's always in the chase. He's going to be around. He's not probably going to be pushing your door in, but he's going to be there.
Yeah.
You know, like it's going to be Ken Gucci, right?
100%. Him or D Hughes, but definitely
Yeah,
Ken's up there for Mr. Consistency.
and so and that's why Ken has been he is where he is. He's been getting points throughout the year. Let's see if I can find him. Yeah, he's in 15th, which is it's solid, but I think he would like a little bit more in a higher place there. But I felt like he's had a better season than that. But
Yeah.
that's what you get when you only win your 32 battle. You only get 10 points,
Yeah.
which is
It's
crazy. The
true.
crazy thing is the poll right now is at 50%. So
Oh, dead even. Look at
yeah,
that. Yeah.
people are people aren't sure on this one.
Because if Ben puts it together, I mean, you saw it in Long Beach. When Ben puts it together, he's a monster.
Exactly. It's just he's got to put it
Finally a
together.
monster in that car, but
Yeah. I mean, and looking at the rest of that segment, I mean, you got Matt Field, who is always going to be a problem. Uh,
oh, 100%.
and then you got Osbo and Hughes in the bottom. So,
What a freaking wow. That's a bracket right there for sure.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's definitely going to be it's going to be some spicy ones. All right.
Yeah.
We're just going to end the poll at 50% cuz that's where it's kind of hanging out at. So we're just going to
There you
hang there.
go. 50-50. No one wins.
And then these guys are still going against each other.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Got this again? I don't know. Let's flip a coin.
Dan
Okay, who
Stookie
you
versus
got?
Jeff Jones.
You got Jeff for heads, or you got Stookie for
Tails.
heads? Tails. You got Stookie for tails. All right, let's see. Hey Siri, flip a coin. You got tails.
Oh, was serious
Tails.
thinking
We're going
Stookie's gonna win,
Stookie.
huh?
Okay. Okay. I mean, I could see that. I think that small car or the light car is going to help him here. Just get the
Yes, that
track.
is one thing he's always said. He said the car struggles with bigger bank courses, because it is lighter and the way it's built. So
Yeah,
this
and
is
I think those
definitely.
Kendas are definitely helping him this year. Get a
Mm-hmm.
lot of grip. He's looking a lot more comfortable, a lot more confidence. I don't even think this is a Siri thing. I don't think it's just my opinion. I think it's Stookie. I think Stookie's gonna take this one.
All right, all right.
And the chat does not think that
No, the chat doesn't
whatsoever.
think that at
They
all.
think Jeff Jones is winning.
Good old Hefe.
Yeah.
Mike says Jeff because he always seems to make it top 16, although he hasn't
I
this
think
year.
They're 2-1 right now. 2-1 Stuckey. They've gone against each other every round so
Yeah,
far,
Jeff has only
right?
made it to 16 once this year so far,
Once. Yeah.
and Stuckey has beaten him twice. So curious to see if Jones is going to even it up. I bet you though, if Jones does even it up, that they're going to see each other again. But
Someone just needs like we need someone to just win. Random win. You know?
mean dub, you got David here. What's up, buddy? He says, and I'm tired of the same old battles, the same old battles every round. I agree. Luckily, we only have to see one of those, which
True.
is kind of nice.
Yes.
Eric says Jeff Jones is his favorite driver. I mean, that's understandable. He's a pretty
There
great
you go,
guy.
Eric.
Not gonna lie.
Good guy, great dance moves.
Yeah.
It's jiggy with it. What's up?
Is that what the kids say now?
I don't know. I've
Oh,
always said that.
yeah.
That's just a me thing.
Yeah. He's special. I get it. All right. Well,
Yeah, I
Jeff
know.
Jones ends up
Whatever.
winning that one, even though Stuckey's beat him twice this year. And 64%. So people got faith in Jeff Jones.
There we go.
Good to see. All right, and we're glad to see Simon Olsen is not against Ben Hobson this weekend.
There we go.
So
Against
you
Trent Beecham.
a little change up there.
We'll change up for sure.
All right, who wins? Olsen
Or
or Beecham?
Beecham. I don't know. I mean, Olsen's done the last year he didn't do well. He had an engine failure, but
Right.
the year prior to that, he lost against Adam in the finals. You
Yep.
know,
Again, that wasn't in
how do
this
you
car. And that's the big.
how do you do in the Supra here? The years
I
he
think this
drove
was
the
his first
Supra.
time he got a podium, and it was in the Supra, I believe.
No shot. Really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think he got a podium in the Supra.
Yeah, he did. He
I
got one
am
podium.
looking. I am looking. Okay, let's see. Jersey, he got a 32 in 22, so it's like a 21. Uh, uh, he got a 16 in 21. I didn't think he got a podium before the Odie days. I
No,
know he got a top 4 in Utah one year.
oh no, it was a top four. You're right. Yeah, it was top four in
Yeah,
Utah.
he got a top 4 in 22. Yeah, in 22. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. Eric says, I think Brandon Sorensen will do well this weekend. Honestly, I can see that.
I can
I
see
mean,
that. Yeah.
I am excited for this Brandon potential of a Brandon Sorensen Connor Shanahan battle.
That'd be cool.
A little dynamic there.
Yeah.
Obviously, good friends and potentially
Yeah.
family in the future. So that'll be a fun one.
That's cool. Yeah. That'd be cool.
And then let's say theoretically Simon Olsen wins, like the chat's thinking. Look who he
The
possibly is
boss
going up against.
boss battle again.
Yeah,
Full boss
against Odie, which
again.
that'll be spicy.
Yes, indeed.
All kinds of marks going on that car.
Yeah. I mean, this bracket's like looking pretty spicy right now.
Yeah.
The left side's just a bloodbath. I don't even know what's going on over there. It's just crazy. But the right
Yeah.
side got Forsberg and LZ and a little
Yeah, the top
tired.
right's definitely the side I would want to be on. But
Yeah.
you're right. I mean, the reality obviously now with how good Formula Drift is that there are no easy battles.
Yeah. No,
Even in 13
100%.
it seems like at this point. Ooh, pole switched up. Now we got Beecham in the lead.
Okay.
There you go.
I mean, Beecham, we saw him in Utah last year. Get that podium. He definitely is not a slouch by any means.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he only has 132 win this year, and that was in Long Beach. And then has
Right.
lost his last 32 battles, so he's only got 10 points on the season. What's
Hey, it's
crazy
more
is
than some, you
guess
know?
who has 9 points?
Federico?
Yes, Federico
Yes.
Sharifo has 9 points. Daigo Saito also has 9 points. You got
Tommy LeMayer
Dimitri,
also has 9 points.
TLO, Andy Haley, Conor Oselli, all of them.
A lot of 9-pointers, yeah.
And
Man,
you got
this
Dan
standings
Burkett and
is
Ryan Literal
crazy.
down there.
Yeah.
2 guys that I got to step her up.
Yeah, dude. I know.
And then
No,
obviously Hurst and
man.
Novak.
There's no back, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Back to what we were talking about. Now it's at 50-50. Olsen Beecham.
Wow. I mean, it is a good battle. I think both of them, like, when they shine, but it's, again, that consistency thing. Like, they're not always consistent.
Yeah. And obviously you got to remember Olsen's in a different car than he was last year. It's pretty obvious, watching him out there. He has to drive the car a bit differently than he did the S chassis.
Yeah.
But all right, let's see what the chat's saying. Odie better podium this round. Why is that, Mike? Odie can podium this round also.
It seems like he loves that third place spot,
He
so
does. He does do that a lot. He's
he's
that
done
guy that just
that
hangs
quite
around waiting
often.
for a championship to just fall in his lap, and he's gotta win a couple rounds. I think just to do that though.
Yeah. Come on, Justin. Lock in. Get him to lock in. What are we doing here? So
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Well, I guess
yeah,
this one's gonna end at 50% as well.
there we go.
Another tied round there. All right. In chat and everyone, I want to see
Who we got winning?
who do you guys got winning this round? Because this is one of my favorite rounds when it comes to winners because it's usually not the top guys for
Yeah.
whatever reason.
Well, not last year.
Not last year, but in
No.
previous 2 years before that, it's been a bunch of guys getting their first podiums
Yeah.
and whatnot. So
First
obviously,
wins.
if you want to be boring and picks James Dean, you can, but I don't think he's winning here.
Ooh, yeah. I don't know.
I don't even think he's making it past top 8.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
I
whoa.
think he's losing to Manoa again.
Wow.
Or not again,
Okay.
sorry. But I think he's losing to Manoa.
Okay. There we go. Said it.
Yeah, and I think Manoa is going to be... I think... Oh, man. So it's probably Freddie and Manoa on that side.
Top 8. I would say or top 4. I'd go Manoa, Freddie. We'll skip top 4 or top right for now. And then bottom, I would
Yeah, I mean,
go
I'm picking LZ out of the top
Shanahan.
right.
Really? I don't know.
He's had good success here, man.
I feel like this is a strong track for Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think Adam's faster.
Quickness, speed doesn't really matter here.
Yeah. But it makes it easier to drive if you're faster.
The only Obi-Wan says James is in a slump. Kind of.
He's in a slump
A little
because he
bit.
hasn't won the previous 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Oh my
What do
gosh.
you get in Finland in Drift Masters? You got
Top 8,
top
wasn't it?
8? Yeah. I forgot who we lost against. Someone.
Mika Keski Korpi, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, it was Keski Korpi.
That is a shocking.
But it was like wet weather. It was weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
Finland was kind of a rough round.
Yeah, I didn't. I watched it all, but like I did skip through some of it because I watched the replay.
It was just
kind of rough. Yeah.
Oh,
Was
Sean
it really?
thinks Chris is gonna get a home win here. That'd be interesting.
I could see. I feel like Chris has definitely
Well, past couple of years has been rough. Like everyone can see it. But like either these new tires, the Wise Fab, the blue stuff. I tell you what, working with those guys and understanding like the geometry of a Z sucks. Okay, sucks. Wise Fab makes it a lot better though, so makes it less sucky. So there's that, you know. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I could see a surprise Chris Forsberg win out of this weekend for sure.
Yeah. Squimby, that was not last round. He got DQ'd the round before. So last round was Finland, and he lost in top 8. Forget he got. I think it was Spain. He got DQ'd in.
Yeah, against Oliver Randalou.
Randalou, which was interesting. So the fun part about DMEC is the podium from round 1. None of those guys made it. Well, 2 of those guys lost at 32, and then the other guy lost in 16. So like, points
that's
are all
what
over
it
the
seems
place.
like the past couple of years. Like just to go off topic to get into Drift Masters. Like last year, the first track in where were they at last year? What was it? Spain. That was like, was it Spain? I think it was Spain, either Spain or Italy. It was like a big, long, just like
it's Spain, yeah.
Trying to go as quick as possible track. This year, same thing. If they went to Vallelunga, that track would have also been the same thing. It would have been the most random top 3 because it's just such a weird track. You know, it doesn't flow very well. It's just fast. That's all it is.
Yeah. So who we got in the finals? I'm picking. Going off the board, we're going Brandon Sorensen.
Whoa.
I'm stealing it. I forget who said it, but I'm stealing that pick. Although he's going to have to go through a gauntlet to get there. Oh, that's tough.
That's a I'm surprised you didn't pick your favorite driver of the year, your driver of the year. Mr. Odie, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He made some mistakes in Orlando that he usually doesn't make, and he got lucky a couple times.
He's a very strong driver here at Jersey, though.
Yeah.
And like in relativity compared to the left side, this right side bracket is easier for him. Granted, he has to go through either a Sorensen. I was gonna say
he's got to go through Sorensen or Connor Shanahan.
Yeah, it's not optimal.
No, and he still's got to beat Olsen. If
what do you think about Castro? You think Castro's gonna get a dub?
I think he's losing to Adam.
Okay, fair. Let's see. Finals. I want to pick my left side first. That would be the easiest thing to do.
I'm going Manoa. Sorensen finals.
I'll go James Dean, Chris Forsberg. What you know about it? You know, changing it up a little bit. I think James, he did very strong on this track last year. Again, speed isn't like those. I don't know if it's the tire or what, but the RTRs are definitely struggling. Like Orlando, he struggled against Rome, which was crazy to see. I think at this track,
some crazy 3-wheel action.
You got to get that speed. Them Nittos aren't the best for FD right now, you know. So I think for this track, James is gonna lock in. He's gonna get that at finals. On the right side, it could honestly be any of them. We'll throw a Chris Forsberg in there. We'll throw Chris back on the podium. First one since Atlanta 2023. Like he's back on. Yeah, bro, crazy stat. Crazy stat. I just pull out of the back pocket there. He didn't podium last year, and yeah, Atlanta 2023 was the last time he podium. So there we go.
CFC Fire says LZ Turkey final. That's a fun one.
That would be a fun one. I would not mind an LZ Turkey final. To be honest with you.
Colin says LZ Rome. Okay, having some faith. Rome did podium here 2 years ago, right?
He did. 2 or 3. Whenever Travis won. I forgot when Travis won. It might have been longer than that. 4. years ago, 3 years ago. I don't know. A while ago.
I think it was the first year they came to Jersey.
I thought the first year they came, it pissed rain, right? Like
Probably.
absolutely just
I don't think we've
pissed
ever
it
had a
down.
normal weekend in New Jersey.
No, you're not wrong. Who won that round? Matt Field won. Yeah, it was Matt Field
Really?
and
That's
Forsberg in 21 the first year, and it pissed rain.
wow.
Let me see, 20, yeah, 22, 2022 is when Travis won.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Phil said that in James's vlog, he said that they struggled with tire life in Orlando, and they don't have that issue
Yeah.
obviously in New Jersey. But yeah,
Nope.
that makes sense.
Yeah. Feel like Jersey and St. Louis is going to be his time to like he needs to win both these rounds or he's going to struggle to keep up in the championship the rest of the season.
I'm never counting out James Dean ever in any championship.
I'm just saying
Sorry.
with the tire.
No.
That's all I'm saying. It's like a great opportunity for him to get that leap up. I'm not saying he's going to lose.
Well, the thing
I'm
is
just saying.
everyone struggles with tire life in Orlando. I don't think it's just Nitto.
Yeah, it's true.
If you noticed, Manoa won all his battles chasing first.
Yeah,
So that is a huge advantage
I
in
see.
Orlando. So it was definitely a challenge leading first in Orlando. It always
I got a
usually
fun
is. But
I got a fun question for you. Do you think FD should implement the I don't know, we might have asked this last time, but do you
yeah,
think FD should implement the
choose
higher
your own lane.
qualifier, choose your own lane?
I think it'd be fun. I think it add to
Okay.
the dynamic of it. But I don't know. I think I asked Herbie on the show, and he's like no.
Yeah, I don't
But
think so just cuz you don't qualify. You don't really earn the right to,
no, you don't. You're right.
you know.
Qualifying definitely makes it a little bit more makes sense at least.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see. I'm not either. I don't know how he was gonna let Roma beat him in a one series. Looks like Rome locked in with the beam. Trying to understand what you're saying, Colin. So basically, the reason he beat or the reason Rome beat um, Dean was because he chased first, which you lose. I think you used. I think it was Denofa said it was 20% less tire in the chase.
Mm.
Therefore, you use than you do in the lead, so in theory then you have more tire when you lead versus the guy in the chase has. And you got to remember, in between runs, you're able to cool the tires a little bit as well. So having more tire tread after the first run is definitely an advantage. But that's kind
That's
of
what's up.
why you would see a Dean or some of those guys struggle in Orlando.
Huh.
Alrighty. Do I still have a poll up? I don't think so, right? No. No, I ended the last one. Alright, it's just broken on this Streamlabs thing, which is fine, Is what it is. Alrighty. Let's see. Oh wow, it's already past 2 hours by, and I haven't even. We're just chilling and looking at things. All right, so if you had to pick a winner, who you picking?
Me?
Yeah, I got Manoa.
James Dean.
It pains me to say that. Sort of, not really.
James
I love
Dean.
Manoa's. I don't love Manoa's driving on the big courses, but on these tracks, he's a lot of fun.
James Dean.
All right,
Yep.
let's All right, let's go ahead and switch her off here. All right, guys, we have gone well past our 2 hour mark. Was able to talk to as many people as we could in the chat. It was great to see everyone. We are obviously going to be live 3 days this weekend during practices and stuff. We'll see if we are doing some pit stuff or not. We kind of have to play it by ear depending on how busy we are. For me, it's a very interesting trip because it is a 2 week long trip, not just this weekend's trip. I'm actually going out to Mondello for Drift Masters, so I'm
Ooh.
super excited for that. Be my first time ever going to Europe, and I gotta go film over there. I can't tell you why yet until tomorrow. Well, maybe it would be the next day, depending on how time works for them. Uh,
It
but
could be tomorrow.
yeah, so I'm pretty pumped. But I have a lot of stuff still to pack. So I'm flying directly after New Jersey on Monday. I'm going out to Ireland and get to go see
Yeah.
a bunch of really cool people over there, and I'm pretty
Yeah.
excited for it. And I am
Congrats.
sure,
That's a cool opportunity
yeah,
for sure.
we're gonna try and do some live stuff. We'll see what people want to do out there. Uh, might have Brandon run next week's stream, and then I just pop in,
There we
depending.
go.
But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Um, but yeah, I'm super excited, and it was kind of like one of those opportunities where like I can't say no. You know, I don't have time for it, but I kind of have to just make time at this point.
There you
And
go.
yeah, get to see one of the coolest tracks or venues and whatnot, and I'm really excited. So there will be a bunch of content that I will be filming personally, probably throughout the week and weekend that I'm there. So we'll put that all on the channel as well. Get you guys a little bit of different of just other than just FD content. You know, do a little bit more Driftmasters stuff. You know, I'm excited because I get to personally now see the difference between FD and Driftmasters. Um, we'll see if I'm allowed to go live during practice. I don't know how the whole Red Bull thing works
Yeah.
over there, so I
Red
gotta
Bull.
talk with some guys over there, and maybe we can go live during one of the sessions. It'd be kind of cool. I'm also not trying to step on people's toes, though. You know, it's not like I mean, it could be a more common thing in the future, but as of right now, it's just like a little one time thing, and I'm not trying to burn bridges yet. um,
That would be crazy.
yeah, Hugh, I saw the weather is looking nice over there. It's not not too hot, not too cold. It should be nice over there. Unlike New Jersey, where we're all gonna die. I'm gonna go to Ireland, just like burnt like a lobster. It's gonna be great.
Can't say that. You're gonna get demonetized. Whatever you just said.
A
Something
lobster,
lobster. Oh, I thought you
lobster.
said something else. A Family Guy reference.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Uh, but yeah. So it should
It's gonna
be
be he's filming for me. I'm driving. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
That's the announcement. Yeah, I'm the US driver, by the way. Yeah. Yeah. LZ's
Oh,
like, yeah, take the 36. It's chill. And I'm like, cool. Sounds good, man. Appreciate it.
that's funny. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No. Just look on the channel, and there'll be news about it tomorrow, I'm sure. So, but yeah, Brandon. Sounds like you are actually like selling stuff actually now. You're actually like
Wow.
doing something with a
Yeah.
business or something.
Yeah. It's actually been kind of a little slow the past couple weeks, but we're working on it. Oh yeah, here. I got a picture. I'm like a proud dad showing everyone this. But look, I built this. Pretty cool.
Fancy.
Got a triple 45-inch screens, little things through the boundless racing, doing the turnkey stuff. It's fun. It's the best business for me, so I'm gonna keep pushing that, keep doing that. And yeah, it's been fun. It's been good.
Yeah, you got your own like space now, and
Yeah, I got a little shop. We're on Google. I shouldn't say that. Fuck. It's a public thing. So if you're like interested in a sim and you want to like buy one and you want to come try it out, we can do that. Yeah, we got some new partners in the works too. We're working with a new company called Vero Motion. So some
okay.
motion sims will be coming to my area, so you could test those here in the good old state of Georgia. It's cool, North American system. So
Yeah,
good old
interesting.
America. Let's go America. They're Canadian, but close enough. No tariffs.
No
That's what's up,
Chinese,
guys.
no Chinese stuff.
No, no, none of that. So yeah, really excited. Just gotta keep going to events, probably make ads and spend more money, but spent a
That's
lot of
how it
money the
goes.
past couple weeks. It's hurt a lot. hurt a lot. The bank account is drained now. It was nice and plush, and now it is all gone. So that's awesome.
Oh man, that's funny. But yeah, no, I'm excited for you, bud. You're actually like, you're doing the thing. So
yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Doing the thing. All right, guys. Well, again, thank you everyone for checking out. If you want to like, subscribe, that's always appreciated. Share the show. Let me know in the comments how wrong we are about our picks, or how wrong the chat is, or how Daigo is going to win the event this weekend. Love to hear it all. Like I said, coverage is going to be kind of nuts this weekend. We're going to be busy with lots of stuff.